Welcome to the Art Liddy channel. Today I am going to show you how I cooked up this one pot, and I call it a one pot wonder because it's all cooked in the same pot. I am going to serve it with some green beans, but it's made with some asparagus. And normally I use artichokes, and I apologize, I didn't have artichokes in my cupboard when I was making this. I went to reach for the artichokes and didn't have them, but normally I use about a half a jar of artichokes, so we're going to eat it tonight without it. I did put a can of mushrooms in as a substitute, but normally I just cook this with artichokes. And I did have some fresh asparagus on hand, so I threw that in tonight as well. But you can adapt this recipe to whatever kind of vegetables you want to add. Even a can of stewed tomatoes would be fine. But it's made with just simple ingredients, and it's a one pot. And like I said earlier, I call it the one pot wonder because you just basically throw everything in the pot, and then you're cooking it all together, so the flavors all meld together. But I hope you enjoy it, and stick around for the rest of the recipe. Right now what I'm doing is I'm sauteing one medium sweet onion, and I've chopped it up pretty fine, you can see. And I have 6 chicken tenders. These were the previously frozen kind, so what I did was I just microwaved them for 3 minutes to thaw, and I just did that on a disposable paper plate to thaw, and then I'm sauteing them in a pan a few minutes on each side so that they're brown. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut them up a little bit with the spatula. Make them in smaller pieces, bite-sized pieces, like so. And then I'm going to add my water and rice and start cooking the rest. And I'm going to show you as I do that. Yeah, these are browned up nice. So I make sure the chicken's cooked really well first. Now I'm going to add my asparagus to this, and I added 1 cup of water. I'm also going to add a thing of mushrooms. Now I've made this before with a half a can of artichokes, and it's absolutely amazing, but I just went to my cupboard to get my artichokes out, and I do not have them. So normally I would definitely put in either a jar or a half jar, depending on how you like it, of artichokes, but I'm totally bummed. Usually I have a big stockpile of them, and I don't have them anymore. I am out, but normally I would put artichokes, so that's what would be in there. And that really makes it amazing. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in a couple tablespoons of this sun-dried tomato mixture here. Okay, so I'm doing a very hearty, this is about a tablespoon, and I'm going to put about 2 of them in. This is like a bruschetta type sun-dried tomato bruschetta mix right here. And I'm doing a couple of very huge, they're pretty much a tablespoon each, about 2 tablespoons of this. It's with Italian basil. That's what's going to flavor it. And then I have some garlic powder. I'm just going to sprinkle pretty heavy with the garlic powder, just so it all has a nice covering right there. And that was 1 cup of water that I have in already. And now I'm going to go ahead, see that basil pesto, this stuff is really seasoning it really, really well. That's what's giving flavor to this dish. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add another 1.5 cups of water. Now the rice says to add 2 cups, but I add an extra 1/2 cup because this, and I'm going to show you the kind of rice I'm using. I'm going to do a little bit heavy there. So I use 2.5 cups of water. This is a quick cook brown rice. And the instructions say 2 cups, but I add 2.5 cups. And it says it cooks in 15 to 17 minutes. And I end up cooking this for about, I want to say, the last time I did this, it was almost 35 minutes that I cooked it. I like my rice, my brown rice, a little soft, on the soft side. So if you want to taste it after, say, 20 minutes, go ahead, see how you like it. But mine, I prefer it to be a little bit cooked better. I don't like any crunchy kernels or of the rice. So I cooked it for about 35-40 minutes. So what I did was I put the rice in, and I used 1 cup of the rice. So I'm going to add that now. And I'm still bummed about those artichokes because, man, they really make this dish. So make sure you have your artichokes on hand. It's kind of crazy to do a recipe without something in it, but I had started the dinner and didn't realize. And we loved it. We made it the other day and we loved it so much. I like making the videos, that way I know what, it's like a recording of my recipes for myself and my son, so then he can just go ahead and make them from my internet recipes. Okay, so here we have the rice. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cover on this, and I'm going to simmer this. Every once in a while I'll take a peek and check it. But after 25 minutes I'm going to look at it, see what's going on, and then, like I said the other day when I made it, it needed an extra 15-17 minutes extra even. And I'm going to turn my, I'm going to wait for it to, well, it's actually starting to simmer now. I'm getting a little bit of bubbles. So right now I have mine on a setting on a 4, my stove, so I'm going to bump it down to a 3, I think. And take a peek at that, see how that does for a while. And then I'll let you know the exact time. This is the recommended cook time for the rice, and this is around 20 minutes of cook time. And when I tasted it, it's still slightly crunchy. And I like mine, like I said, a little bit softer. So if you like yours like this, then the recipe's done. But I'm going to go ahead and cook it a little bit longer so that the rice is a little bit tender. I've just cooked it for another 15 minutes and it's tender enough for my personal taste. But I hope you enjoyed the recipe, and let me know in the comments how yours came out.